A secret memo has leaked. A secret memo has leaked, and it has vilified me. I have been vindicated over what I've been shouting and shouting for a very long time. I've been saying this, I've been shouting at the top of my voice, letting Nigerians and my Igbo brothers know that their position in Nigeria is threatened. And you see, many people want to gaslight you and say all sort of things, and make to cover what they are doing secretly. A secret memo has been leaked. Now, Sowore, in a news report, said Nigeria must break up for Igbos to survive. That means we are on life support in Nigeria. Nigeria must break up for Igbos to survive. That is coming from a Yoruba man, a Southwesterner, an Oduduwa man. This one is not coming from Nnamdi Kanu or Samanekpa or Ipob or Wazirike. It is a Yoruba person who is sincere. He is a sincere man. He has come out to say that Nigeria must break up for Igbos to survive. That is why we are calling for balkanization. We are making sure that we are pressing hard that this system will change. An Igbo man's destiny is not safe under this current constitution. What constitutes Nigeria today is a threat to the destiny and to the future of an Igbo man. I have said it over and over again, and I will repeat it. An Igbo man cannot survive in today's Nigeria. Looking at the gang up from the north to the southwest, they prefer to use a south person in quote than a core Igbo man. They prefer that an Igbo man is put under their feet, and they do it with manipulations, with propaganda, with lies. They do it through the back door. They don't make it obvious. But now, Sowore has come to burst their bubble. In a podcast, he made this revelation. It is the same Sowore that said that the hatred Nigeria has for the Igbo man is in their blood. Let me read this. Former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, Omoyele Sowore, has alleged that there is a secret memo in the government to be careful of Igbos. He stated that the Igbos can't thrive in the current setup of the country, stressing that Nigeria must break up for them to survive. Let me read. He alleged there's a secret memo in the government to be careful of the Igbos. As an Igbo man, you want to get a contract. They will make sure that they distill you. And okay, let's look at a graduate from different university. Graduate from UNN Nsukka, graduate from Unilag, and graduate from Ahmadu Bello University. They are seeking for a job opening in Abuja Ministry of Finance. Let's say that one from UNN had first class. The one from Unilag has second class upper. While the one from Ahmadu Bello University had maybe third class. Don't you think that the one from Ahmadu Bello University that is less qualified has more chances of getting jobs? Graduates in Nigeria from the north and the southwest as of today, they have much more leverage than graduates from the southeast when it comes to federal government employment and everything. So there's a deliberate act to keep the Igbos out of anything good happening in Nigeria. And when the Igbos start crying out, somebody will come and say they don't want better for the country. These people have been marginalized for many years. That's why you have the likes of Wazirike, Samanekpa, and Nnamdi Kanu, whereby they get angry to the extent that they want to make sure they get Biafra by force, because they are seeing the handwriting on the walls. Restricted to your states, when you look at federal government appointments, the Igbos have been lagging behind since democracy. It is very hard for you to say core Igbo man, even not for federal character. In a way, these people are ready not to give Igbo jobs, give Igbo opportunities to bid for businesses. Look at Dangote and Co. Look at Iboto Cement. Look at what happens. They will intentionally frustrate an Igbo man not to succeed in Nigeria. And is it not safe for us to say that the Igbo man needs to vigorously fight for his exit from Nigeria? Looking at the revelation of Sowore and what some of us have experienced firsthand, if you're a graduate, there are some top jobs you will not be giving attention to. The politics that they play today is that most people, because they have, if you appoint a Yoruba man Minister of Finance, eventually his Yoruba brothers will be the ones that will occupy that ministry. Looking at the tribalistic nature, looking at the hatred for the Igbo tribe, it is their brothers that they will just flood them in that ministry. I told you something I experienced today. A Yoruba lady said she went to a church, a redeemed church in Lagos. She went to a redeemed church in Lagos. And she went for the first time and he saw that Igbos were plenty there. Say, no, if it's Igbos, I won't go to this church. So she was looking for a redeemed church that we have more of Yorubas. You can see the hatred. This is just a young girl of 15, 16 saying this thing. You can see the hatred they plant in their children. When you look at marriages, intermarriages between Igbo and Yoruba, you always see it between the sons and daughters. It's very rare for you to see an Igbo boy get married to a Yoruba girl. It is either a Yoruba boy getting married to an Igbo girl. Because these people, their parents tell them from little, avoid the Igbos. I don't want to get married from that family that's Igbos. I was born and bred in Lagos, so I know what I'm saying. Firsthand, there are some job opportunities you get as an Igbo man. You don't stand a chance to even apply or even have a chance to even work in such organizations, except there's a federal character, except it's being owned by foreigners, and foreigners wants an Igbo person to be part of that company. If it's being occupied by Southwesterners, it is very difficult for an Igbo man to explore his skills and potentials in Nigeria. That's why you see they are relegated to just business, because business is a one-man thing, it's an entrepreneurial thing. You don't need to be connected to do business. That's why you see these guys relegated to business. We have many Igbos that are graduates, that are well-to-do. We have many of them, but they don't have a chance at surviving in Nigeria today because of the hatred they have for the Igbo man. It is very, very, very pathetic, and that is why we must get Biafra. It's a must. It's a do or die thing. No going back, whether you like it or not. I did a broadcast about Nnamdi Kanu giving federal government conditions why he should drop Biafra. Yes, that report is true. 2017, Nnamdi Kanu met with the Southeast governors and gave them conditions to drop Biafra. We're looking at it. The Southeast governors, instead of dialoguing with Nnamdi Kanu, the next week or 2 weeks thereabout, armies showed up in Nnamdi Kanu's compound and killed over 20-something persons with the aim to even kill him, because having that kind of attack, that means there must be an order to kill him. After Nnamdi Kanu says, I will drop this agitation if you do this and this and this. What is expected of the government to do? Is it not to listen to what he's saying and try and take steps? But the next thing they wanted to do was to kill him. That's why today, there's no going back on Biafra. You see, any dialogue you are doing, Nigeria cannot dialogue with Igbos. You cannot dialogue. The only solution now is that everybody will go their separate ways. That's the only solution. There's nothing other than that. That is why God is making sure that the North and the Southwest are having crisis and issues. They are clashing. They are having issues. Let the hatred deepen so that this country will get to regional system of government. I was discussing with one of my Yoruba friends this evening. He said that he is into politics, especially Lagos politics. He said what he is seeing in politics, Nigeria can never be better again. So anybody you see coming online to say Nigeria is one, just watch that person. That person is not feeling fine. It's not okay. It's not well at all. It's not well. There's a secret memo that leaked according to Sowore, and they are telling everybody, be careful of Igbos. That means their positions they will not give to Igbos. Their positions. I worked in a company. We just had like 3 or 4 Igbos in that company. The rest were Yorubas. But you know the funny thing? that Igbos were the ones that were excelling at what they did. They were committed and dedicated. Wherever you find an Igbo man, he always performs above his contemporaries. He always does better, much more than his contemporaries. That's why they envy them. The First Republic, we saw Igbos dominating most posts in the civil service and in the Nigerian government. Before the Cardinal Nzogu coup, Igbos were here and there. They were doing better. They were even in the elite class. For you to get married to an Igbo, you need to get to a standard. For you to get married to an Igbo man in the First Republic, you need to get to a standard. You need to be educated. You need to be able to have one degree or the other. The Igbos were in the high class society then, if you study history. But the gang up between the North and the Southwest, they envy these guys, and they made sure that these guys never rise up again in Nigeria, which they are doing with politics and everything. That's why some people, when P2B came out, they made sure that P2B does not get to that presidency. They will spend anything they can spend to make sure that P2B and Igbo man does not get to that presidency. I have spoken with some men, I have spoken with some people, and you will come to understand that the hatred for the Igbo man is that they are afraid that the Igbo man might rise above every other tribe, like they did in the First Republic. They are afraid. In the company that I worked, we were the high flyers. The Igbos there were the high. Even though I was born in Lagos and I behaved like Yoruba, I had this Igbo blood in me, and we were doing much more better. We were doing much more great than every of our contemporaries. We were at the top. We were even leading at that point. So that is the hatred. So for Igbos to survive, this is a survival thing. We need to survive. For Igbos to survive in Nigeria, Nigeria must break up. This is what Sowore said in a podcast hosted by, they call it the Honest Bunch podcast, hosted by Nedu. He said, Nigeria has an Igbo problem. There's a secret memo in the government, yes. So for Igbo man to survive in Nigeria, as it is currently put together, Nigeria must break. There's a video to that respect. Nigeria must break. But why is it that the politicians are calling for one Nigeria? Why is it that the Southeast politicians are also calling for one Nigeria? Don't you know that these guys don't believe that Nigeria is one? Don't you think so? Don't you think that these guys, they're just feeding from the diversity of opinions? They're just feeding from the disunity. They are taking advantage of the fact that Nigeria is not united, and they just position themselves there in the political class, just cramping up all the monies, enriching themselves and their family, putting the average Nigerian in bondage. I told somebody today that we have a class problem. Class. Now, under Tinubu's regime, the middle class have been erased. We now have the richer, the high class and the low class. The class of the rich and the class of the poor. So the class of the rich, they remain united to fleece the country of its mineral resources, to steal the country's resources and the revenue and what the country is producing, being controlled by the rich, and they give crumbs to the poor. That is the problem Nigeria has. And amongst the rich people, they limit what they give to Igbos. When you see that people who owns power plants and what have you, who owns big companies, most of the blue chip companies we have in Nigeria today are owned by the Yorubas. Most of the blue chip companies we have, new generational companies we have today, is owned by the Yorubas. How do you think is that possible? There is a deliberate attempt to make sure that they start Igbos that are entrepreneurs from getting to certain levels. Look at what Davido's father said when he was going to own his own power plant, that somebody was frustrating, told him that he will not get it. Not to talk of an Igbo person that goes to Abuja, I want to have a power plant. I have what it takes. How was Ibetu frustrated out of business by the powers that be? How are they trying so much to frustrate Diamond Bank? I think Diamond Bank, yes, who is owned by an Igbo man. So what is happening? There is a deliberate attempt. That is why, whether people like it or not, an Igbo man would not stay in this kind of system. We must break the system and be free. We must survive. We can survive and we must survive. Nothing is stopping us. That's why I'm proud to be an IPOB. I'm proud to be associated with IPOB. Even though I'm not a member of that organization. But every Igbo man is tagged an IPOB, a Biafran man. Whether you think that these guys know where they are going or not, whether they are educated or not, it is much more better than being a Nigerian. Being an IPOB is much more better than being a Nigerian. You know what a Nigerian means? Mumu, goats. A Nigerian currently, when you go on the streets, look at Nigerians. Frustrated people. They can't fight back. They are in bondage. The ruling class is ruining their lives, ruining their families, ruining their destinies. There's nothing they can do. They are slaves. But an IPOB man is fighting for his freedom. He's coming out to speak out. No, I don't want to be in this situation. I want out. But the Nigerian man is just helpless there, doing nothing. They want Nigeria. What is your... Shetima, his residence in Lagos, 5 billion naira used to revenue. See, after 21 billion naira, on that 5 billion naira, the federal government is spending for Shetima's house in Lagos. Where was Osibajo saying before? Where was Osibajo staying before? But because they know that Nigerians are goats, Nigerians don't have value in their eyes, they can spend monies anyhow and tell Nigerians to be patient. That is what they always tell Nigerians. During the election, I told some people, this petrol is not going down. It is going up and up. Dangote refinery does not stop the price of crude from going up, of petrol from going up. Old men with their white hair that have children, that I don't know what they will be telling their children, telling me that is a lie. See, an average Nigerian don't know his right, don't understand his right, and cannot take action on his right. When you see people criticize, sit at home, tell them, the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu that has impoverished Nigerians, what are you doing to it? People are taking actions over marginalization, and you're angry with this, but you are there, your family members are going to bed without food, people are dying of hunger, people have lost hope. The government spends monies anyhow, do things anyhow. 185 naira under Buhari's regime last year, it is 1,100, and so in some place 1,500, some place 2,000, and they're telling you that you can have an alternative of CNG and what have you. But an IPOB person is telling you that no, we are fighting for our rights. They are coming out to fight for our rights. You went for a protest. What happened? How far? Conquered people. Because I hate when people are fighting for their rights, even though you think they are stupid, they are sending a message. We cannot be cowards and slaves like ordinary Nigerians. We want out of this system. This system is not going to benefit us and anything about us. Sowore has come to say it several times, over and over again, saying that Nigeria would snuff the life out of Igbos if Nigeria continues to exist, and Igbo man might not even live again. Because the hatred people have for an Igbo man is in the blood. So why not allow these people go? Why? So if Igbos needs to leave, Nigeria must break up. That's the message. No matter what, those Igbos that are fighting for one Nigeria, my brother, Nigeria is not one. Why are you fighting? Why are you people not okay? Why are you people just behaving? I don't understand. Nigeria cannot be one. Nigeria cannot be one. The leaders understand this. That's why when everybody enters, is either they Fulanize or they urbanize. And an Igbo man dare not try it because the Southwest will deploy the media against them. But we thank God that the media now belongs to the average person on the streets. The traditional media is losing their grip. They are losing their grip. They are losing their credibility. Look at what happened during the elections. Elon Musk used the media to win elections for Donald Trump against the legacy media like CNN and all ABC, MSNBC, and what have you. Somebody used social media. So now, news is being reported by the people. We thank God for that. But no matter what, we will continue to do broadcast upon broadcast and take actions to make sure that we change the system. We change the system. We'll deploy every media that we can deploy. We'll deploy every tactic that we can deploy to change the system so that an Igbo man can be able to breathe again in this Nigeria, the Nigeria of today, this one Nigeria of today, so that we can be able to breathe fresh air. We are suffocating. And the world is listening to us. We are saying it, we are suffocating. Let there be a change of the system.